I think this airplane, we took it apart. It was apart before Thanksgiving. It's February the 16th when it's test flight.
This is the headrest behind the pilot's seat. And from here, we'll go over and we'll look at the picture, what I did. Well, I took this one off and put another one on.
I'm Randy Ball, and I fly jets upside down. Well, there's nothing like looking up through the canopy and seeing the ground. Do these jets ever break? Did these jets ever break? Occasionally, yes, they do break. Usually, you can't find a big mechanic, so I'm elected. And Aaron May's elected, sometimes at an air show. All the stuff that goes on air shows that you just never see. It's nothing like flying close to the ground in front of the crowd. As a kid, I was just mesmerized by the magic in the sky, just trying to give some of it back.
What'd you do with that little flashlight?
I gave it to you.
Jon Blanchette, owner of award-winning Red 620, and demo pilot Randy Ball are both readying their jets for the coming 2020 airshow season.
Ready?
The canopy has to be gone before the ejection seat will fire. A coiled metal cable that I attached to the canopy is the last thing we did, which is designed to keep that from happening. The canopy has to leave the aircraft before the ejection seat will fly. So the scene in the movie where Goose smacks the canopy, although I suppose in the probability of a universe is possible, is highly unlikely in the real world.
Henrik told me, the Polish mechanic, that take as much weight as you can out of the seat, because if the pilot has to eject, chances are he's going to hit the tail going out. It won't throw him high enough. The tail will get him. This is the headrest behind the pilot's seat. Right there, that thing is solid steel. Very, very heavy. And from here, we'll go over and we'll look at the picture, what I did. Well, I took this one off and put another one on. So, I took the headrest off and substituted a plastic piece, which I made, and I'll show you a picture of it. And then I'm looking for the, right here. This piece of steel right here was taken out, the back, and a piece of wood was replaced. So I took I took about 60 pounds of weight out of the ejection seat. So if Randy has to go, he'll clear the tail. But when he gets all done, he's going to be an inch shorter. He'll compress his spine.
This is a first flight out of maintenance, so it's a functional test. Short flight with lots of stuff crammed into it. As I start the engines up, Aaron's going to do a functional check on all the flight controls. Taking the jet up the runway and just looking at very carefully at all the parameters, fuel flows and engine temperatures and oil temperatures and oil flows, all that stuff. Hydraulic fluids, pressures and so forth. Cycling through systems, writing down anything I don't like so they can be corrected. Then I'll climb on up to a little higher altitude and we'll get it upside down. Then get it up to around 400 knots, 500 knots. Push the nose back down, pull it back, power back to get the speed back off on the airplane and come back and maybe do one low pass here for you guys and then call it a day.
So you can see up there in that corner, there's a headrest. One is steel and one is plastic. I took the steel one out, I put the plastic one in, which is exact duplicate. I had to take each piece of inch plexiglass and actually put it in an oven so it would go over a mold I made, a concrete mold. So it would flow over the mold and then do all the hand trimming on it. So it'd come out exactly the same as that one. So altogether I took like 60 pounds out of the seat because I replaced the steel plate and the headrest thing. So up when you look in the cockpit, You really can't see the headrest because it's buried, but you can see the steel plate, which is now wood. Which is now wood. Randy, the pilot, flew it the first time. The next day then, he said, I've got to do some more tests on it. I've got to do a lot more tests. Because I just was around the pattern, just flying it. And when he came back, he said, oh, everything is fine. I put it upside down and did this and did that. Oh, what a routine he put it through.
It's amazing how you computers do. You just power them down and you power them back up and voila. Radio's off, battery's off. I was at 3,000 feet in like 23 seconds after liftoff. I don't know who that was in the King Air that went down there, but they were. He told them they may have to hold out there because he had a MiG doing functional test in the area.
Oh, well, you've
and
letting somebody else talk.
And so the other guy goes, "Oh, great! We're gonna have to wait for Randy to do an air show, and then we get to."
Really? Thank you for the show today. That was kind of nice. I thought, that looks like a MiG Russian MiG going by. We just go for a walk.
Yeah. They from Canada.
We're just staying down here where it's warm.
Now go slow. Now we test the chase plane, who also just came out of its winter maintenance. here by myself a lot, putting the jet up. We have stripes painted on the ground that, if you follow, keeps the airplane safe when you're putting it to bed.
$1,495 horsepower.
Done.